Hello, and welcome to our interview series with the wonderful teachers here at the Community College of Baltimore County. Today, we're sitting down with Mark Lane, and it looks like he's actually in one of our photo studios at the Essex campus.
Mhm.
So we'll just jump right into it. Mark, what led you to wanting to get into art?
Well, I mean, it's been quite a while. I mean, I started out, my great aunt actually gave me a camera when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I shot so much with it, I wore it out. And then my parents decided that we were spending too much money on film, so they curbed me from that. And I didn't pick it up again until my brother graduated from Berkeley, and I went to visit him. And he just got a 35mm camera, which he said, "Why don't you take some photos here?" And that got me back into the joy of doing photography again. And then later, this was the late '70s, and I started photographing a lot of punk bands back in the day. And then I was doing a poor job at that, so I started taking classes at the old Dundalk Community College, which led me down the road of photography and doing photography full time.
Cool. I did not know that part about the punk band stuff. That's really fun. Wow. Um, what led you to wanting to work in the college and teach?
Well, I was working as a working photographer for a long time, and I always had friends at CCBC because that's where I graduated with my associate arts degree. And I went right from that to working full time as a photographer's assistant, grip work. I've worked in some film, and I managed 2 studios, and I always was very friendly with people there because I was a good friend of Mark Trojan's. And then there came upon a time where instructor was needed to teach a business and photography class, and being I had my own business, and they were also winding down that degree because they were getting ready to merge the colleges together. So I was asked to teach the class, and then I started teaching some black and white classes, and it all evolved from that. Being asked from Mark, and then I was been teaching on and off now for 20 years, pretty close. Black and white photography, business photography. I did like an intermediate photography class, was teaching a lighting class. This semester I'm not teaching at all, but it's I'm not sure what's going to happen with me teaching here, if it's going to continue or not. But for the last 20 years, I've been teaching various things, and all in photography.
Cool. If you had to describe your artwork to someone who's never seen it before and you have no way of showing them an example, how would you describe it?
My more recent stuff is more experimental, where I try to blend traditional with digital.
Okay.
Hopefully that would be enough to give somebody an idea what I'm trying to do at the moment. I can expand upon that if you like.
Sure. Yeah.
I started to recently, I only had 2 associate arts degrees. So over the last few years, I've been working on my bachelor's and hopefully to my master's, and I've been taking classes at Towson. And from those classes, I've been exposed to much more in-depth works of art that I didn't know about before. And I always loved the old traditional photography. I've been working also with 3D printers where I make my own cameras. I've made several cameras. I've made a pinhole camera, which I shot a whole series on, that I worked with Ashley, because Ashley is very creative, and I could just talk to her and just say, "This is my idea," and then she would work with me, and we came up with a whole series where I blended the pinhole images in the studio and doing multiple exposures to create kind of like a in the camera collage. So that's a more recent thing I've been doing. And then recently I built another camera. It's a 3D camera where I haven't figured out exactly how to make it work the way I want it to work yet. It's basically, there was a photographer who built a camera out of straws, and it took a big sheet of film, and then you would get this grid pattern. And there's a person that makes a lot of 3D cameras that I really like, and she had a version that you can shoot it on 120 film. And my first, because I don't know what the exposure is, I don't know anything. I have to experiment to find out what that is. And same thing I had to do with my pinhole to figure out how to do that. I'm going to try to do some things where I would get basically like a honeycomb kind of a look with imagery, and I was just going to experiment with that next. So I've been doing a lot of things with 3D printing and trying to bend things beyond the normal traditional photography.
That's fascinating. I'm excited to see the results. That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm hoping, well, what I'm going to try to introduce, or at least put in the show, is the pinhole shots, which I have not turned in yet, which I got to do soon. But that's what I plan to put in. So hopefully those will be something will be picked out of that. That'll be shown.
Well, thank you so much again, Mark, for sitting down with
Sure.
me. And thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoy the exhibition and this interview series, and hope you have the great rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.